because what we are doing, I think we are all doing the same thing. We are investing huge amounts of money in order to have experts helping us, for example, to make a public tender. If we would have an information somewhere, maybe on the internet, on the internal site of Metropolis, giving you some help, it would be a nice thing, it would be very practical. So I think we have two challenges. The first one is the real international political challenge, which is about subsidiarity. And the second one is real practical. We all have practical problems. I'm thinking now about joint acquisitions, for example. Tomorrow we want to buy, in Brussels area, for example, we want to buy a new metro subway. There's somebody else who wants to do the same thing. Maybe we can join together and make a joint public offer in order to have things cheaper. Why not? So I think this is very practical, but this is very important as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, I noted 5 very concrete suggestions. First of all, to look at what is a possible regulation mechanisms for interdependence, interacting regions, spaces of flows. Which is a very difficult question, but it's of course one of the main questions in global regulation problems. Second point, which is a recurrent point, is the relationship with the central state, financial questions of autonomy, subsidiarity, etc. Third point is migration and the effects it has on multicultural cities, multi-religious cities, so how living together on the basis of difference. We have to shift models probably from monocultural states to multicultural cities. Fourth point is very practical. How can we improve practical information experience, data bank, website? So that's a very, very concrete proposal. And the last, is it not possible that Metropolis plays a role in, let's say, joining acquisitions or regulating markets in a certain way? If you have consortia of cities ordering, you could really weigh on let's say on the market in a certain way. Thank you very much. The next on the list is Moriami.
Good day to everyone. My name is Pierre Delaché. I'm the chairman of the executive committee of the City of Montreal. Unfortunately, Mayor Coderre couldn't be here because we're hosting actually another event in Montreal and could not join us. So I'm the one replacing him, and I'm delighted to be able to do it and visit de Rabat. First, as you probably all know, Montreal has been a founding member of Metropolis in 1985, and we were at that time believed that there was a need for all large cities in the world to get together because there was issue that we were sharing. Unfortunately, for various reasons, 2 years ago, we bailed out of it, and but now with the new administration that came in under Mayor Coderre's leadership in last November, we believe that it was important that we reintegrate Metropolis, and because we still believe it's an important association to be participating in. I'll try to be brief on some of the reasons, though we believe it's important to be part of it, as we all do, and I've been listening, and to different degree of equity, we all have the same issues. Would it be around governance, environment, economic growth, social issues around youth, aging population, integration of immigrant, infrastructure, either lack of or deterioration of our infrastructure, how do we finance them, urbanization, mobility. We all share, to a different degree, the same issues. And we believe that being part of Metropolis, for us, it's a great place so that we can network on a first level with some people and develop relationships that will help us, because we're going to be sharing among each other all the best practices, trying to solve some of the issues that we were talking about, and I was listing prior to that. And how we can cooperate with each other because we're sharing, and some are more advanced in some of those issues, or how can we help others move forward on those issues. So we can learn, we can either provide information because we've been either through it or not. That would be on one of the level. However, there's another more important level, and it's on some of those global issues. We've talked about climate change, and and we all know that in the phrase that we're all been using, they say think global, act locally. And that's where cities can do the real work. And that's why it's important that our voice is heard, and is heard through an association like Metropolis, so that we can do things locally. We are government of proximity. We are the one that can do things and work very closely with the people. And if we can position ourselves globally as a major actor, I think is going to be a very important aspect. And it's certainly a mandate that we would like, and continue, because they're already doing it, but reinforce that mandate that we can do that. And I'll bring a third thing. As we are back, and we want to be an active player in part of this association, certainly we have referred to the need to continue to grow our membership. And there's some area in the world where we're not as present, and I will admit that North America is one of those places. And certainly the mayor, and he doesn't know about this mandate yet, but I'll tell him when I come back, that he'll certainly should be one of the voice and try to help and increase our membership in North America. So we're certainly ready to do that, and we will deliver on some of those objectives. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, 3 points: common issues, common agendas, sharing, learning platform. It's coming back always. Second very important point is the global issues. How can cities and metropolis weigh on global issues? Just mention here that there is in other networks also this discussion on a global parliament of mayors. Maybe the mayors should think of a political expression that gets some media attention to position that. And then recruiting, expanding membership, and the proposal here is in fact to do regional campaigns and charge members also to recruit new members in their region. Thank you very much. I have Santiago de Chile on the list.
Buenas tardes a todos los presentes. Para nosotros, como región metropolitana de Santiago de Chile, es muy importante esta red de grandes ciudades, metrópolis. Nosotros también hace poco hemos tenido elecciones y se ha ido avanzando en un proceso de profundización de la descentralización y la regionalización del país. Nuestro país tradicionalmente ha sido muy centralista y se da un poco esto entre el gobierno nacional muy fuerte y gobiernos regionales o locales muy débiles. Por primera vez hemos sido electos los consejeros regionales, una suerte de parlamento regional. De hecho acá tenemos 4 delegados: Franco Sabate, uno de los más jóvenes, María Antonieta Sá, que fue alcaldesa y parlamentaria y muy feminista, está en la red de mujeres, José Soto, que también es nuevo consejero regional. Hemos traído un proyecto acá que quiero comentar posteriormente. Nosotros entonces, primero creo que es muy importante este intercambio de experiencia en cómo se fortalecen estos gobiernos regionales. El día de ayer nuestra presidenta recibió un informe de una Comisión Nacional de Descentralización con expertos de distintos ámbitos académicos, políticos, técnicos, que recogen también experiencias internacionales para tratar de plasmar un proyecto, un proceso de mayor descentralización, y en eso nosotros podemos aprender mucho de ustedes, de las metrópolis, y está también nuestro compromiso de poder aportar en este proceso. Acá está Buenos Aires, también nosotros podemos hacer un esfuerzo para que se incorporen más regiones de nuestros países de Sudamérica a metrópolis. Comentar que creo que se puede profundizar aún más también a partir de esta red los intercambios de experiencias bilaterales. Nosotros tenemos una muy larga relación a partir de Metrópolis con la región de Île-de-France. Nos parece que es algo que se puede dinamizar y potenciar entre regiones o en temas similares que visualizamos. Nosotros tenemos un problema grande de segregación de la ciudad, que se da en muchos lados, y la sugerencia de propuestas de iniciativas que puedan ayudar en estos términos. Nosotros hemos traído un proyecto que queremos presentar al Banco de Ciudades de corredores verdes. También el tema de la desigualdad se ve en el tema de las áreas verdes, y también eso ayuda a combatir la contaminación. Es un tema nuevo del cual queremos aprender de otras metrópolis y también hacer nuestra contribución. Un tema específico que también ha planteado algunos de los nuevos consejeros que tenemos, un importante ex dirigente sindical y parlamentario, el tema de las condiciones de trabajo en las metrópolis, el tema de los derechos de los trabajadores, que pudiera ser un tema nuevo que pudiéramos desarrollar, tal como se ha hablado del tema mujeres, jóvenes, el tema del trabajo. Nosotros queremos también incorporar esta visión verde de corredores con un proyecto que estamos haciendo y conocer otras experiencias mundiales a nivel de las metrópolis, y reiterar nuestro compromiso de jugar un rol más activo en América Latina en esta red, y también de intercambio con otras regiones que tengan problemas similares a los nuestros. Muchas gracias.
Yes, so recurring problems, that's always so when speakers come at the end of the list. Things have been said before, but one important point I note here is this decentralization, regionalization, and the question that is recurring, and you probably have to discuss, is what is the relationship between the city, the metropolis, and the region? Because, of course, decentralization in new territories creates another problem of, let's say, the city-state relation. If the regional state is smaller, but it remains a state. So that's an important question, I think, to take up. And then, of course, learning platforms. And here, the added information is not to underestimate bilateral collaboration, specific bilateral collaboration. And then you mentioned, of course, a number of teams to add to the list. Green infrastructures and working conditions, I noted. That is good for the synthesis. Niamey, please.
Merci donc à tous et nous sommes fiers d'être ici au 11e congrès du Métropolis. Cette fierté ne s'arrête pas là, parce que à travers les échanges qui se font tout à l'heure, nous constatons que, bref, tous les pays ont presque les mêmes problèmes. Maintenant, à chacun de voir comment résoudre, mais au Métropolis de voir comment aider. Parce que si nous avons la solution à nos problèmes, je crois qu'on n'allait pas exposer les mêmes problèmes durant ces 2 heures de temps d'échange. Donc, le Métropolis a du pain sur la planche. Alors, les problèmes que nous subissons, c'est toujours l'urbanisme, les déchets, donc l'assainissement, le problème des logements sociaux, parce que des pays en émergence comme le Niger, je crois qu'on a vraiment besoin de ce genre de choses. Les 3 problèmes récurrents, vraiment le Métropolis nous aide à les résoudre d'ici les 3 ans qui vont venir, auquel j'ajoute le chômage des jeunes, parce qu'il y a un jeune à côté de moi qui me souffre le chômage des jeunes. Donc le chômage des jeunes, vraiment ce sont des problèmes que nous vivons et que tous les pays vivent. Et nous avons besoin d'être épaulés pour résoudre ces problèmes. Merci.
Merci à vous. Again, so the same agenda comes forward, and Metropolis needs to address that and help the less experienced cities, in fact, And 4 themes are mentioned here: urbanism and planning, second, waste management, 3, housing questions, and 4, youth unemployment as main topics to be taken up. Thank you very much. Did I forget somebody that wants to take the floor before ending this session? Is there anybody who wants to speak? There's a lot of suggestions already made. Maybe I give, yes?
We didn't speak about our relationship with other similar networks.
Yes.
Maybe it would be a nice thing to ask to the president or members of the committee to look for the possibilities of having a contact with those networks, because by joining or working together, maybe we would have a greater impact in the world decision making.
I think that is a very important point, because I have been part of a lot of network meetings, and everybody, the same issues are coming up, and all the networks think they are auto-sufficient to deal with them. So a network of networks might be a good idea. Any other contribution for this session? I'll give the floor to the Vice Chair to the last intervention, and then we conclude.
I think it's very important to have relations with other entities, United Cities and local governments. It's very important to have a good relation. It's very important to have good relation with Habitat. I think it is very important to have a good relation between women, because also that can help us to change things. Yo creo sinceramente que a todo esto le hemos de añadir la voluntad clara de que nosotros hemos de hacer un esfuerzo para conseguir nueva gente, sobre todo de Norteamérica y Europa, para que se apunte a esta organización de metrópolis. Yo creo que es muy importante. Estamos, yo creo, en unos momentos de aprender muchísimo, porque de otra manera repetiremos muchas experiencias que podríamos avanzarnos a muchas de estas cosas, Y por tanto yo creo sinceramente que esto lo habríamos de hacer. Como yo creo que es muy importante que nos abramos también nosotros como metrópolis a universidades, y que nos abramos a entidades de la sociedad civil, compañías, porque yo creo que esta también da una nueva fuerza a todos nosotros. Yo había planteado además el tema de que la persona que representa a las mujeres de esta organización pudiera estar en la permanente. Yo creo que eso también es bueno, y son cambios que yo creo que nos permiten una mayor agilidad a todos en la decisión, en las tomas de decisiones. El hecho de que muchas ciudades sean muy diferentes y que las áreas metropolitanas puedan ser muy diferentes, en lugar de ser un problema, esto nos puede ayudar a enriquecernos mutuamente todos. Porque, como os decía antes, no es cuestión de hacer las cosas miméticamente iguales, pero sí que podemos aprender muchos de vosotros.
So excuse me one more point. Sorry. Suggestion from my chat for the next conference, if possible, beside of the voice of the mayor, we have kind of voice of expert about give the practical solutions for the challenges. Because all of us, we know about the challenges, but it's very good to know that what obstacles to solve the solutions. And if possible, for the next, we have a kind of voice of expert who share the ideas with each other. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, the time is up, but I think we had a very interesting brainstorm. In fact, we will ourselves help the Secretariat to make an executive summary of this and try to regroup it in some action proposals, and even we will do that this afternoon, even so you can do that can take it as a note for your Bureau meetings and decisive. I think I just to mention 4 points that I heard. It's the agenda, the issues are similar, so let's make it explicit, let's globalize the urban agenda in a certain way. Second important point is let's work at the right membership to be representative, at least for the big cities. Metropolis should be the only network of the bigger cities at a global level. Third, everybody stressed the importance of improving the work as a learning platform, both at levels of the quality of the information, but also the practical levels help. So make it very, very concrete. And the fourth element that came back and that we have to work on is political decision making. And that's at 3 levels. I see, let's say, actions at that level. It's how can cities weigh on the global agenda, the global regulation. Second, how can cities interact with each other in their own interdependence and regulating spaces of flows where there are nodes themselves. And 3, the relationship of the local with the national, basically, and the possibility of having your proper politics relating to the nation state, which are overall problems. And probably these agendas have to be opened. I thank everybody for being here, and let's make a good synthesis of this discussion and take the network a step forward. Thank you very much for being here.
డిస్కషన్ నడుతుంది మధ్యలో వచ్చేసారు ఆయనకు చెప్తే సరే మేము ఎట్లున్నాం మాది చూసుకోవాలి ఏం చూసుకున్నాను.